would you say are your biggest takeaways from the 2 sessions work report?
Well, Sally, look, China right now is at a very important pivot moment. We're trying to figure out how we can shift gears and across the threshold to enter the mid and high income nation, and also try to modernize Chinese development in the next 5 or 10 years, because this is a wrapping up year for the 14th 5-year program, and also the beginning year of the 15th 5-year program, and all the delegations and all the democratic parties and CPC plus the government try to figure out what we're going to do in the next 5 years. Is going to be very, very important, considering we have a very turbulent international backdrop, and also a changing domestic situation. So I think from these conference, we've been seeing 2 very important key takeaways. Number one is what we call the future directions. Well, as Sean just mentioned, I think AI and high technology is definitely what we're going to do. It's like every developed nations, you have to champion in certain high-tech areas, like what Japan used to do in a car, like Germany what to do in mechanics, and America used to dominate the internet. And China right now is trying to catch up and somehow champion the AI and the robo technology, aerospace and aviation. This is going to be absolutely important, and the government, and also the delegations has mentioned a lot about how we can nurture the talents, reform our education system, and downput more of the investment to support these garage startups, these tech-savvy companies. So this is going to be very important. The financial support, government policy support, the rule of law, and everything you need to know is within this discussions. And well, I think at the end of this month, you're going to see many of the detailed policies going to be rolled out through all the different respective relevant ministries. So they're going to downput all these policies, and then all these policies are going to form into the next 5-year program. And also, second key takeaway is about the bottom line. What is bottom line? Because well, we can have Unitree, we can have DeepSeek, we can have probably top notch of the CG movie factories, but how about another large population? Well, those people trying to also catch up with the benefit of the time. So I think the government also figured it out. This is very important. For example, the housing issues, education issues, healthcare issues, as well as for the agriculture. So we try to make sure that everybody still can have a good job, can have affordable education, and also affordable healthcare. This is also very important. And also, last but not least, I think opening up at the current international backdrop is very, very important. Even though we're having some fuss over the world recently among many countries, but China still makes its commitment to keep on opening up and embrace the internationalization. I think this is very important, and very important certain factors against the current turbulence of the whole world.
Right, and we know that a tech-driven economy is the priority, but you've mentioned a host of social issues there. So these kinds of everyday concerns need to be addressed. How will the government, coincide and translate everyday action when they're focusing on a high-tech sort of society?
Well, I think the Chinese government have a very good experience. What we call in China is called the cross the river by filling the stones. Right, we have the driverless cabs probably like 2 years ago, and functioning very, very well. But the Chinese government say, okay, we're going to hold the horses a little bit to try to wait up to see how this technology is going to pan out eventually. Not only technology-wise, but also to see how much of the impact it's going to have towards the driver's market. The same thing happening with the education market, because we understand if you want to solve this problem for good, you need to let every people, let every person to catch up with the time's trend. So training the students, training the workforces with the skills they need to catch up is very important. So I work in the university. So right now, every day what we're discussing over the table is how we can reform our curriculum and add into more of the STEM, courses into our courses, and more of the cross-disciplinary courses will be taught to the students. And meanwhile, we're going to add up more of the old age caring and also the health care, as well as the education subsidies. So more of the people will have less burden to make a good life with a higher living qualities. So I think this is already been spanning out in Chinese government, program in a 14th 5-year program, and also I think in a 15th 5-year program, this is just going to be more and more, because we have already seen the pension fund is edging up, and also the education subsidy is getting more and more. My students have been doubling up with the scholarship, and more like that.
Qu Qiang, thanks so much for your time.